Alright, today I'm going to be taking a look at tritezz. I'm just going to call this guy Trite. His game, he's a silver level player as Terran. He's the, red Terran, and it was sent to me by him. I think on YouTube. His name is Dylan something 1994. And this is played on Steps of War, and his opponent is bluemyself. Very nice name. This is from Arrested Development, if you do not know, and if you again, if you don't know, you should probably watch that show because it's the best show ever. So, let's see. This map, Steps of War, the first thing you want to know as Terran on this map is that this map loves you. So, this map is very small in terms of the distance between the two bases, which means that the immobility in your army, if you choose to go mech, is going to be much less limited. So, you're going to be pretty safe most of the time if you choose to go mech, because there's just not a lot of places where your opponent can hit you. So on Protoss, this is less of a big deal because their units are a bit stronger, a little bit hardier than their, say, Zerg counterparts. So it's not an enormous deal. But against Zerg, this map definitely does favor you because, again, you can just you don't have to move your army very much. Let's see, an early gas going to go down to 4 barracks, actually. So this is the first thing you should be working on. Yeah, okay. There we go, getting that barracks down. And if you're going to start off walling off with your depot, there's no reason not to continue doing this with your barracks. It's not like you're going to be able to hide, well, it's hard to hide a barracks because your opponent knows that it's there, it just doesn't know where exactly it is. So, I mean, the only, say, difference being maybe a proxy. Are we going to gas up? Sure. Continuing that SCV production looks good so far. And forgive me if I start commentating this on accident, because I totally will. I just did 4 commentaries. Okay, everything looks pretty normal. I'm not doing anything with this barracks. And see, this early in the game, you generally want to be using as much as you can. Especially as Terran, more so than the other races. Well, I guess with Zerg, you always want to be using Larva, but with Terran, there's no reason. Okay, there we go. First Marine going to come out. Well, it's on the way. And you need to be keeping up production, there we go, of SCVs. And you probably want to be putting down a supply depot pretty soon. Maybe even get your second refinery up. Oh, gonna go for a second barracks. 2 racks is a pretty aggressive build. I mean, remember that he still hasn't gone. Yeah, there we go. Okay, a tech lab gonna be down on your first barracks. So I assume it's gonna be a Marauder heavy build. So in silver, I actually haven't seen many silver games, but I'd assume that there's a lot of follies that are the same in gold. That is, a lot of players choose to go a very Marauder heavy build and forget about Marines. But it's kind of late to really, well, it's kind of early actually to judge him on that. And again, the supply depot, this should be coming down 16 or 17 really. You would never want to be supply blocked unless you're at 200, then it's perfectly fine. Then you'd probably want to throw away your army so you can rebuild one. Of course, there's probably going to be some player who's actually good who's going to say, no, you shouldn't do that, and you should probably listen to them. Alright, that factor getting out. Well, let's see what he does with this. Going this reactor second. So, traditionally, what players do is, for every 3 racks, 2 of them will be tech labs and 1 of them will be a reactor, and then you lean more heavily towards the tech labs once you get more barracks out, because the reactors just provide tons and tons of troops. But, going for this early reactor on this guy, I'm not sure if I like that too much. And again, we can look at the supply, but this is good. He's got a supply depot already on the way. Okay, so he's going to be going for this M&M build. He's going to completely neglect this factory. This is actually okay to do. It sounds terrible because of the word neglect, but it's fine, because you're going straight for the starport, which you will pour tons of love and adoration into by putting a reactor on it and spamming medevacs, and probably Vikings as well. Decent force coming out here from his opponent. And this is another thing, I don't think he has scouted. No. Okay, so actually I should probably go back. So, well, No, not really. It's not. Well, it is important. It's very important to scout, but just keep in mind the scouting time you want to have is you want to be sending out that SCV around the time your first barracks finishes, or even during when it's being built. This is good. I didn't even see that Ghost Academy. Sorry about that. But Ghost exceptionally good against Protoss. Looks like I'm lagging a bit here. Uh-oh. Let's see what that's all about. There we go. It looks like it fixed itself. Okay, so Ghosts, this is a very good idea. In Terran versus Protoss, Ghosts are probably the most important unit. Maybe not, but they're very, very, very important units against Protoss, just in general, because it takes out half the life of most units. And, okay, looks like that first medevac now out. You should be building a reactor on this guy, in general, if you're going to be going for this infantry-heavy build. Because the only thing you're really going to want out of this is medevacs and Vikings. Pretty solid force coming in from his opponent, and there's not much here. Hope he can EMP well. Yeah, very nice EMP there. Another one would be nice on these Zealots, but you can't have everything. So that EMP actually probably saved him there. If he didn't have that EMP, he probably wouldn't have won that. And actually, I kind of take back what I said earlier. Ghosts are good, but they're good eventually. You generally want to have an actual army before you actually get the Ghosts, because you want to be able to defend yourself. Ghosts aren't that strong. Yeah, 10 and 20 versus light. So they're fighting against Zealots without charge, but against Stalkers, against Immortals, not so good. You have to EMP very well, and that happened to be very nicely done because of this ramp, because it's a very small area that the entire EMP can cover. Looks like combat shield now on the way.